Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Predicting Science Fiction Levels of Poverty Soon. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word. Now, let's get started. Our sources are telling us that many nations, including the US, will soon experience science fiction levels of poverty. What does that mean exactly? Well, science fiction levels of poverty is a phrase that is now being used to describe the extreme poverty level that we're going to experience that is similar to what was only seen in old science fiction movies like Soylent Green. Only now we're seeing it on a daily basis in major cities and countries around the globe, including the US. Would you like a quick example? In London today, the price of a gallon of gas was $10.50. $10.50 for a gallon of gas in London, England, and the price is climbing. So, what are some other examples of this type of ultra poverty inducing phenomena? Well, a lot of them are too brutal to describe here or reveal, but we can give you some examples. One example is poor parents in some impoverished countries are now openly and eagerly and enthusiastically selling their children to human traffickers. They're doing this because they can't support them, they can't feed them, and they desperately need the money to feed their remaining children. These seemingly unescorted and recently sold children are pouring across our borders and being trafficked by fake religious organizations who specialize in reselling these children to degenerates all across the country. Next, we're seeing a level of food poverty that the world hasn't seen before. In some major cities, we're now seeing people begging for food in places that no one ever saw this phenomenon before. They're begging for food in Beverly Hills, San Francisco, in London's financial district, near and around the Eiffel Tower in Paris, directly in front of the White House in Washington, D.C. We're seeing people begging for food on Wall Street. There are people begging for food every day and everywhere. And what's really disturbing is that many of these people had middle-class subsistence-level jobs just a few months ago that were capable of feeding their families. Now they're all begging for food. Here's another thing that indicates a science fiction level of growing poverty. A lot of humans are now behaving more poorly than animals in the wild kingdom. For example, wild animals almost never kill for sport. They kill to feed themselves and their young ones. But humans are now regularly attacking and killing one another for sport and for recreational purposes or just to make a video for social media. How are we able to confirm this? It's already on social media. There's an explosion of assault videos in which one person will attack another and not rob them or steal from them. They'll just attack them for the purposes of creating another video for recreational purposes. They're not robbing them. They're not stealing from them. They're just assaulting and killing people while knowing they're being filmed for social media. It's a level of science fiction-like depravity that we used to see only in the movies or on television shows, and it is pervasive now. There's another level of poverty out there that many people aren't even aware of. This type of poverty is being caused by the growing lack of safety and security. We used to live in a world where you had safe neighborhoods and dangerous neighborhoods. Now people are finding it more and more difficult to tell which is which because so much crime is infesting once safe neighborhoods. What's another phenomenon that causes society today to become more indistinguishable from what we've seen in science fiction movies and TV shows? Well, in the movies, you could always tell the difference between the zombies and the normal people. Now, in real life, it's becoming very challenging to tell the difference between everyday people, the normal people, and the criminals, the drug addicts, the lunatics, walking around the streets looking for someone to attack. In fact, there's a growing number of areas in major cities where the fentanyl junkies walking the streets look very much like zombies. In many sci-fi movies, the aliens or the zombies are often portrayed as once human people who've now taken on a style that's somewhat reminiscent of what humans used to look like, but now it's something very disturbing looking. Next, we have another type of poverty that is becoming more and more common in our culture, and it's reaching science fiction-like levels of manifestation. Do you remember seeing all these crimes and robberies taking place in retail stores over the last few years without any arrests or intervention or attempts at law enforcement? Well, now we're reaching a new level of that sort of behavior. Only this time, instead of drugstores and stealing $900 worth of stuff, they're just walking into service stores. People are going into hair salons and pedicure places and getting their hair done, and they're getting, ladies are getting $300, $400, $500 hairdos, or they're walking into pedicure and manicure shops, getting their feet and their hands done, and then they're just going to walk right out. They're just leaving without paying. It's not like anyone in that store is going to try and stop them, and they're still not stopping them when they get $500 or even $800 hairdos or nail jobs. There's another level of bizarro behavior that people are now demonstrating that they didn't demonstrate before. We're now seeing an explosion of indifference to begging out there. Almost everywhere people go now, whether it's the mall, the movies, the restaurants, or somewhere else, we're seeing poor people and drug addicts solicit them for money. And it's not an infrequent phenomenon, it's nonstop now. If you walk through a nice mall these days, there's a possibility you'll have 5 to 10 people ask you for $1 by the time you walk from one end of the mall to another. Here's something else super disturbing going on. There's a growing percentage of people who no longer trust the food they're being served in restaurants. Is it really beef? Is it really chicken? Is this really fish? Who knows? Is this some creepy synthetic, or is it something new that was substituted back in the kitchen? Something that was genetically engineered to look and sort of taste or smell like meat? Or something else that may or may not be real fruit or vegetables? Do you know any one of your friends or relatives that has been accosted lately? Well, that's getting more and more common. So, if the poverty is so bad now, how can people improve the situation? Well, one of the improvements that they can make is by allowing ordinary employees to participate in the profits of the companies that they work for. If they can get a piece of the profits, then maybe they'll be able to make more money and learn to treat their customers better. This will give employed people more hope. Without that, there's no way to motivate them if they're just getting poorer every day working these terrible jobs. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's episode of our show on all your social media to help spread the word. Thank you, and we shall talk to you soon. Bye-bye.